Ever wish you could know more about your favorite YouTuber or member of the community? That's why we're here. 15 questions, 15 answers, and a speed round. Welcome to the Shonen 15. I'm HG from Shonen Games, and this is Shonen 15. Today we're going to be talking to YonkouProductions and asking him a few questions. So to do that, I'd like to welcome Big News himself. How's it going, Yonko?
Hey, big news indeed. I'm here. We're gonna do.
We're here in the building.
We're out here. Shout out to Shonen Games.
So just so you know how things are going to go, we've got 15 questions for you, and we hope you have 15 answers for us. The goal of this is to get people to know you a little better, and we'll even have some fun during the speed round once we're done with all the major, questioning and whatnot. So I have one question for you.
Sure.
Are you ready?
I am. Let's go.
All right, great. So first off, let's get a few things out of the way. First question. What was life like for you before you were YonkouProductions? Like, growing up, what was some of the stuff that you had to deal with, and what were some of the challenges that you faced?
Wow. Getting right into it, are we?
Yeah.
I was just I was just a regular person. I was just out here, me going to high school, going primary, and I had a little bit of an interest in anime and manga. Started from when I was a kid, whether it be Pokemon to Dragon Ball to Naruto, then to One Piece, and then it just, as soon as I ended up finishing high school, I'm like, yo, I want to share this passion. And then I started, I was like, all right, what do I do? And then I ended up, making a YouTube channel, which led me to go to Reddit, which led me to make a Twitter, which led me.
It really is a vicious cycle, isn't it?
Path. Yeah.
All right. So, what's the first thing about you that people get wrong? And by that, I mean, like, what's the one thing that people automatically assume about you?
Oh, wow. That's a hard one.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess,
difficult.
Yeah. Purely, it depends on the person, but like they might assume that I'm just, like, to be honest, I'm just a regular guy. Instantly, what do they get wrong? I think sometimes what I do notice is they end up spelling YonkouProductions wrong, but I can't I can't blame them for that. So, but something that does recur is, people dropping their U's or whatever, the O's, and just mixing up, how YonkouProductions is spelled, but I'm cool with that.
Okay. So as far as like the internet goes, what's your background as far as how you started doing what you do now? Like, what's the actual process from going from being a child who just kind of is born and around and stuff to, being the source for scans and posting all the stuff that you do weekly? What's that process like?
Basically, to be honest, it was just a bit of luck, a bit of opportunity, and yeah, that's what I can put it down to. I mean, like, I've never had a feeling of superiority or arrogance about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just ended up happening the way it did, and by that I mean that's a tough question, but like, it essentially, I did end up being so in tune with the fandom. And I was so interested in these series where I ended up having opportunities to find, magazines and stuff like that, All
right. So like, I think more of what I'm looking for is what was that first moment for you where you started posting news or you picked up a microphone for the first time? Like, what was that like for you, and what led to making that decision? You know what I mean? Like, what was that moment where you were like, I am Big News Yonko now. That's what I'm doing. Like, this is what I'm going to be doing now.
Fair enough. I mean, Big News Yonko came much later.
Yeah, because the Big News Morgan's on One Piece.
Yeah. But like, to me, it was just, all right, let me share. I really like this. I have a passion for it. It was always about the passion first. It was never about like, trying to find a sort of fame or trying to find some sort of notoriety within the community. It was just me going out there saying, okay, I like this stuff, and there's not many people covering it, so let me try, just give it a shot. Let me see what people like and what people are interested in, and people really ended up liking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's basically what ended up happening, and then I ended up just running with it to the point where I'm like, all right, let me just
That's
post
such a
the news.
similar story to what everyone else has. Everyone else kind of that I've like spoken to, who, as far as who do the same sort of stuff that we do. Everyone has this like genuine interest to do what they're doing now and sharing info with people and whatnot. And it all just, the people who are actually genuine about wanting to share info and aren't in it for like super clout and stuff like that are the ones who stick around the longest, I think.
I mean, to be honest, it's not even about the clout, and like I for me, it was always just the genuine love for what I talk about.
Yeah.
And like that's where it stems from. The whole reason why I got up and started a YouTube channel. And like back in the day, I did reviews, of the manga that I liked, and I went on Reddit specifically because there was discussions by like-minded fans, and that's always what it's always been about. It was about, all right, how do I share my passion and my perspective with the fans that exist? Because once you end up, leaving high school and end up, not being in the same circle of friends that you used to have from back in the day, you try to find something new to, that's basically what it was for me, trying to find something new to replace that. And then it just ended up being something bigger than that, I guess.
All right, so you recently started dropping videos where you've been giving like people just tons of info about the manga industry and its roots. What made you want to do those videos?
I mean, that was purely because I was learning a lot as well. So myself, first and foremost, it's always about, all right, I want to learn. I want to know what the industry is like, and I want to know what these authors are going through, and the magazines in general, the publishers. I'm trying to like learn as much as I can. And through that learning, I do want to like give information and give out knowledge that people might not know about, because like to me as well, it's always about, all right, I know that there's 1,000,001 reviewers, and not to disparage anyone, but like there's different people cover their content differently.
Yeah.
But I wanted to cover, like I always, when it comes to the videos, I always wanted to do videos, and it always stemmed from doing videos, right? This whole thing, YonkouProductions, was a YouTube thing first before it spun out, and
before it evolved elsewhere.
Before it evolved. So I was like, all right, I do have a bit of an audience now. How do I take it back to the beginning and come full circle once more? So all right, I'm like, all right, I have this knowledge and I have all this information that I've been researching, and particularly that my first video, right, the history of Shonen Jump, I consider it my first video, right? Even though it's not, and it's a combination of everything that I've done.
No, but I get what you mean when you say that, though.
Yeah, it is really a combination of everything that I've done, and my whole involvement in the community for the last 5 years, right? So literally, when I put it like that, it's crazy, because it just feels like time just keeps on going.
Oh, it
but
goes by so fast.
like, that's a whole different topic, but that's where it stems from: sharing content that no one else would have otherwise shared, and presenting it in a way that no one else can present that said content.
So to get to that point, like, I'm sure a lot of people are interested, because a lot of people aren't content creators. I mean, even though now we have so many more content creators than there's ever been before, but I guess less than there'll ever be ever in the future. What is like the process behind making those sort of videos? Like, what do you actually have to do when you're sitting down? Like, how do you go from sitting down, having the idea for a video, to having the actual video completed? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't know all the work that goes into it. Could you kind of give like a brief window into what that's like?
All right, fair enough. Basically, so for example, my first video, the history of Shonen Jump, that came from a bunch of research, and like it wasn't intrinsically that I was setting out to do a video first. In fact, I just because I was reading about the history of Shonen Jump, and there's a bunch of interviews that were being published, I was like, all right, there's all these interviews, and it goes into detail. I'm talking about the authors from the beginning of Jump, like I said in the video, all the way back to Hiroshi Motomiya, who was published in Jump from like the first issue to like now, right? And authors that are being published now. And I'm like, all right, let me go through these interviews and try to build a narrative You know, like this was just for myself. First of all, I went through all the
Yeah, so
interviews.
it came from like a personal interest.
Exactly. So it was
Okay.
my own personal interest first. And then I was like, all right, how do I share what I'm interested in right now with the wider community? And then once I got that, I spent months on the script itself because I wanted to tell a story first. And it sounds crazy, but like when you have a wealth of information like that, the thing that's the hardest is being able to convey it in a way that's interesting. Because you can be the smartest person in the world, right? But if you can't convey your ideas in a way that's, you know, really really engaging, it does not work out. So that was a big challenge when I was writing the script. And then beyond that, I want to say I spent about 2 months or a month, you know,
Jeez.
working on the script on and off, you know, just that video. And then once I had that done, I had it edited, and then I started on the recording process. And thankfully, once you have your script ready, from the recording process to editing it, and you know, and once you have it edited, you can basically release your video, right? But that entire process from recording to release was about 2 weeks by itself.
I have a lot of respect for I mean, just I almost said like YouTubers, but I guess I'm also one. But I have a lot of respect for like fellow YouTubers and stuff, because a lot of people think like, oh, like you're just writing a video and doing this, and it's like, yeah, like you can be a super smart person, but it's kind of like comedy, right? Comedians, it's not that they're always the funniest person in the room, but they're the person who can take it on stage and present it in a certain way. Like I'm funnier than a lot of people that I know, but I'm sure like I'm not the best at going on a platform and presenting ideas in a certain way that are like better to be digested by other people. And I think in a lot of ways that's kind of what we as YouTubers have to do. We have to take ideas, we have to take stuff that like really smart people come up with and stuff, and present it in a certain way that other people don't.
Yeah, and it's much more difficult than just putting out a tweet or putting out a blog post, because the delivery and the structure comes into question, and it becomes a bigger part than just the content itself, the raw content.
If you had to say something right now to get people to watch your manga rankings explain video or your history of Shonen Jump video, what would you say?
I would say if you have a passing interest or any interest in Shonen Jump, or you know, the manga that is contained within these magazines, right? And you really want to know the nitty-gritty, the details, you know, just so you can stay informed, right? And you don't want to be misinformed, I would say check it out. You don't have to, and I don't necessarily want to say, oh, you have to check it out because I'm the definitive source, right? Because I am not, and I'm certain there's things that are out there that people know about better than me, and you know, people have a greater grasp on certain details better than me. But you know, just in terms of the way the knowledge is presented, and you know, the videos themselves, I feel like it's a good starting point, you know, just as a fan, a casual fan.
What would you say the second most interesting things about those like videos are? Like the second most interesting part of those videos, so you don't give away the first, so people can go watch it and be surprised still. What would you say those moments are in those videos?
I think for me, the second, all right, so above all of that, you know, the top tier, the secrets that you'd have to watch the video for, just to, you know, tease it a bit. I would say
hidden documents.
The hidden documents, right? The gems. One of the gems that really struck out to me is, specifically with Shonen Jump, the Shonen Jump video itself, is the foundations of Jump itself lie are essentially within its history. And if you really want to understand the magazine, you really have to understand where it stems from and how it came into prominence, into being known as the greatest manga magazine out there. You know, no bias or anything, but like once you have that, you know, knowledge, it can really help with your perspective on things, and you can really begin to look at the entire platform, you know, just manga publishing in general, and gauge where each publisher is at and where each magazine is at. And the differences that make something a hit and something a bust, for example.
What do you like? What's your mindset behind just working on the internet? Period. I mean, people think that it's all rosé and buttercups, but like, can you maybe give insight on the struggles and the difficulties like behind doing what you do?
I mean, a lot of the time it just comes down to fans. For me, like, it was never about the attention, and it was never about trying to find fame, right? So I've always been of the mindset that my presence in the community is that of a custodian. I'm here, and I'm here and I do provide information for the community. But before me, there was someone else, and someone else had that role, and they provided the community with information. And after a certain point in time, there will be someone else to replace me. So with that in mind, like, it's never been about the ego. I just want to push it as far as I can and see where it takes me. And like, it's never been about the followers, the financial gain, which is zero for me, and the completely, right, and the clout. I mean, it's a nice thing to have, and like, it's really nice to know that
people think clout is more useful than money nowadays. Nowadays, one clout coin is like a Bitcoin for a lot of people.
Damn. Yeah. So I've been collecting those clout coins.
I see you.
But yeah.
All right.
Nah, but for the majority of it, it's just for me, it's just about sharing my passion for what I cover, and if I don't have a passion for it, I won't be around. That's simple as what it is.
All right. So because we're talking about clout coins and whatnot, you've made it to kind of like a good point of status on Twitter. You're already growing on YouTube. It seems like you got like your clout on lock, and every day you gain more and more. So what's the coolest thing that you've been able to do because of your hard work and internet clout? Is there a thing?
Is there a thing? I think for me, the biggest thing that, when I think about it, right, is the opportunities. In terms of opportunities, I would say that it's basically the people that I've met along the way.
Okay.
The people who have, shown an interest in my platform and my channel and all of that. That's the biggest thing that I've gained out of anything, is all of you who go to my Twitter to check out what I post, who check out my YouTube channel, who come across me and become interested. That's the biggest thing, because if you look at it from any other perspective, I'm just putting in time for something that the average person would be crazy to do, because there is no financial gain, there is no gain in this for a person, without that passion.
Yeah, of course.
The passion that drives me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because a lot of people give up halfway. A lot of people, they don't see money coming in and this and that coming in right away. Then it's just like, why am I doing this? I'm just going to go do something else. I think a lot of the people, again, who stick to it, like you and like we have and like a lot of others have, are the people who are, it's more than just like monetary interest. It's more than just like, I want to take a selfie with like Chris Sabat. Like it's more than that. It's definitely like a passion that people have.
Yeah, and I think, like, in general, to anyone out there, I think if you let your passion show first, and then you let that be your foundation more than anything else, it will become something that's more valuable than financial gain or fame or whatever. You know what I mean? And like, even for me, right, like, it's crazy to me, like, because for me, I'm in a bit of a bubble. I don't necessarily know the impact of, the people that are checking out what I do. I can tell in terms of numbers, but individuals and the such, it's something completely different. And I think if I was to go to, say, a convention or see anime fans in their native habitat, then it'd be something different. But for me, it's just been an internet thing that, that's all it's been for me. And whether it's clout or not, it's not reflecting on my daily life. And I'm still a person. Yeah.
it's weird, like the age that we live in now, where like you can be someone super relevant online and then leave your house and no one has any idea who you are.
Exactly.
Like we definitely have to be doing something weird to the human mind, because for a long time it's never, like, just for centuries and centuries of like human existence, there's been like this kind of class system where it's like, oh, if you're an important person, people know who you are, like when they see you out in public. But with like our generation now and the internet, like I walk out my house, no one has any idea who I am. You know, I mean, I don't do a lot of face stuff. I do a lot of just internet behind an icon stuff.
Yeah.
But I just think it's interesting, like, to be able to. Do you cherish that, being able to like go out and not having people know who you are, or is there a part of you where it's like, oh, I'd like to be able to go out and be recognized every once in a while? Like, where do you sit on that edge?
Fair enough. I mean, for me, personally, I don't necessarily have any idea how it would be like, to have people come up to me and be like, "Yo, I know you."
Yonko, big news.
Yeah, that would be crazy to me. That, like, cause I can go out and I can be the people that I know, blank face. I'm Yonko, but they wouldn't know the significance of that. It's like, nah, it doesn't make sense, and like that, and also that's a big part of what it takes, and like a big part of not having an ego comes from that. You're grounded, and it keeps me grounded. That's a part that I like. Whereas if I was to have all that, attention and fame and all of that in my real life and my daily life, it would just be a bit too much, to be honest. Whereas now I can just be me, and like it's almost as if this persona is cut from a different section of me.
Okay.
Yes, I'm Yonko, but I'm still me, and I'm still someone who's doing their own thing and has their own life and have their own aspirations and things going for them, right? But that existence is still like something that is intrinsic to me. But until the two collide, and then until the two become one, whether it's by recognition or otherwise, I think it's completely, it just feels completely separate.
I'm sort of enjoying it that way, though. Don't you think? It's there's kind of like this. There's something good about being able to get away from it.
Agreed.
That I feel like I don't envy certain YouTubers who, like, everywhere they go, they are their YouTube personality. I feel like it's good to be able to get away, and not because there's anything wrong with like our fans or anything. It's just it's good to be able to get away and like just live your normal average life. And then being able to come back to being Yonko or being Shonen or being this or that.
I mean, like, with that, it's just the fact that, I mean, J. Cole said it best when he was like, "Oh, I'd rather have the the fame and the fortune, but screw the fame. I'd rather just want the fortune." Which makes sense.
J. Cole
He'd rather
invested in clout coins. That's why.
That's why. Yeah, but it makes sense because the fame is just a pain. It's something. Yeah, you have fame and fortune, but your fortune is tied to your fame, and the fame is much more of a distraction. My bad.
You're right, though.
Than the fortune. But so we live in an age where you can get the fortune and you can get a bit of fame, and they don't have to be tied together, and it's weird like that. And it's going to be interesting to see how things evolve, where you're going to have super rich people and nobody can tell they're rich, and you're going to have super famous people and nobody can tell they're famous.
Everyone's just like, what? Who are you? What do you do? And you're like, oh, I secretly do this. No one's never going to be public about it, but I'm this anonymous YouTuber or this anonymous person online. It's crazy.
Or I invested in 100 Bitcoins in 2009 and I'm a secret multi-millionaire.
I really missed out earlier this year. I was going to get a few, and then I was just like, nah, and it's just, I feel so awful. I feel terrible.
I mean, I remember checking it out in 2014 when it was like, what, $200 a coin, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I set up my account and everything, and I didn't have money at that certain time.
I've had a Coinbase for like 2 years, and I set it up because I was gonna get some 2 years ago, and I just didn't, and I procrastinated, and here we are, R.I.P.
$15,000 a coin. Nah, it's all good. I really like. it's a gamble, and that's unnecessary stress.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm cool. I'm cool with it.
I feel like everything happens for a reason also.
Exactly.
All right. So what's something that you can't do yet because you're lacking in either, internet fame or funds or whatever it is that you really want to do? And do you have a plan that'll get you to that point, or are you sort of just hoping that you'll get to that point, where it's possible sooner or later?
That's an interesting question. I mean, for me, like, and this goes back to the previous questions, and so shout out to you for those questions. But one thing that I do want to do, whether it's now or later or in the future, is go to I want to go to like a big convention type thing, like Anime Expo or New York Comic Con or something like that. And for me, like, that's a whole different country, that's a whole different logistics. Planning that out is crazy, but it's something that I want to do. Either that or also like Jump Festa. I was planning to go this year, but it didn't work out.
I would love to go.
Yeah, so if anything, that's what I would say is, aspiration wise, something that I would want to do that I can't do now is that, and then, just put out a tweet, be like, yo, I'm so and so, and I'm here, and if you see me wearing this shirt, come say hi to me. Yeah, and then we can really experience the fame of being YonkouProductions.
What's crazy is, like, we look at the numbers, right? So, like, we have on Shonen, we have like, let's say like 90,000 people a day who watch videos in general, right? And it's like, you don't really understand how many people 90,000 people is.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? You can gain like 1,000 subscribers or Twitter followers a day, or like wherever it is, or certain good. But you don't think about like how big 1,000 people is in a room. It's a lot of people.
Exactly.
It's like Madison Square Garden holds like what, like 14, 15. It's like one of the big arenas in the States.
Yeah.
It holds like 15, 14, 17,000, I think, at the most. And it's like, that's nothing like YouTube number wise or impressions wise on Twitter. And you're like, oh, I have that many fans. I could easily get that many fans to show up to a place if they all kind of lived in that area. And it's like, it's crazy imagining how many people you actually reach with some of your content.
That's the insane part about it. Once you quantify those numbers and you say, all right, that's this many people per day,
that's
per
a person.
month. That's insane, And even like when you're a smaller YouTuber and you're like, oh my god, 200 people watch my
I only
content.
have 200 people views. It's like, dude hey, you don't even know 200 people.
That is true.
Insane. You don't know 200 people. You know like 15 or 30 people at most, including extended family. You will never know 200 people at once.
And not just that, 200 people to know who you are. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh,
I remember when I was starting off YouTube, just a really small tangent on the side. When I was starting off YouTube with like one of my personal channels, I had a friend who had a friend in Florida who had known, who knew who I was through YouTube, and it blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. And of course, like I could check in analytics. We have like a subscriber in like Madagascar. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know who is in the forest sifting through dung, also making sure to check out.
Don't mischaracterize Madagascar. It might be a beautiful place.
Oh no, but you know what I mean. Like I don't mean it just. I mean like it's like a forest and whatnot. But I'm saying like it's just weird to know that there's a person from there. But like hearing about it, like having an actual person tell you, "Hey, I know a person from Florida who has heard of your stuff," is like mind.
And that's the thing too.
Like I don't understand.
Once you start to realize the impacts, that's something else. That's like, all right, mind blown. I can go to sleep. I can die in peace.
That's true.
It's crazy.
So, what's your favorite manga of all time?
My favorite manga of all time. That is a difficult question.
That's some heat.
And I would feel like, whatever I'd say, it's a blasphemous answer. You feel me? But all right, I'm gonna say this. I'm the most invested in One Piece, so I'm gonna put One Piece at the top. Because all right, let me tell you this: if I'm invested in something and it's like literally taken 5 years of my life in interest, then I'm gonna have to rate it really high. So yeah, I'm a big fan of One Piece.
I don't think a lot of people would be upset at One Piece. Well, Oda's a genius.
Exactly.
So what would you say to the haters who absolutely hate like One Piece, and why are they wrong for hating One Piece?
I mean, it's personal taste at the end of the day. Like, if you don't like it, I understand. I mean, it is 800 and so chapters, nearly 900 chapters, and it's long, and its arc structure is a bit weird, and it's a bit slow at the start. You know, these are criticisms that people have had of One Piece, and I understand, you know, those criticisms. I'm not like a blind fanboy, right?
Like a stan.
Exactly. But I would say that if you invest yourself into reading One Piece or watching One Piece, your investments are duly rewarded. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I would say
there's a lot of foreshadowing and setting up to things that get paid off in full later on, and One Piece is fantastic.
Exactly. So even if you don't like it at the start, or you checked out a small amount of, you know, the series, I would say give it a shot. For me, like, I like the series. All right, like for me, it's funny. So you mentioned this because back in like 2005, I had a friend who's like, check out One Piece. I know you love Naruto. I was a big Naruto stan.
Like, I'm good, fam.
Yeah, I'm good. Listen, One Piece. What you mean? If I want to see pirates, why would I watch One Piece? You know, it's like, it's boring. Go island to island to island. I'm like, nah. I want some ninjas fighting this, that, action all the time. That was my mentality, right? And then it got to a certain point. All right, Naruto is ending, and then I had another friend come up to me and he's like, listen, let's watch One Piece together. And, you know, we kind of competed, and then I ended up finishing the entire series within 6 weeks, and like, it was mind-blowing to me. And then I ended up going to that guy and be like, bro, One Piece is amazing. How have I been sleeping on this for 6 years? Because this was like 2012.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny, because I went from not knowing what One Piece was in June 2012 to having a Twitter account in December 2012 and being the biggest One Piece fan. It's crazy like that.
Well, that's just kind of how good it is. Like, it's good enough to. There's a lot of people who like weirdly hate on One Piece. I don't understand why, but it's good enough to, like, once you actually get into it, kind of convert a lot of those people who are non-believers into like super diehard One Piece fans. It's like nuts.
Exactly, and I was a non-believer in terms of One Piece. I was like, no chance.
Like, what is this?
Exactly. Until I went and I broadened my horizons and I checked out more things, and it just blew my mind.
All right. So speaking of more things, I see you post other things on your Twitter page from time to time, and a lot of the time it's hip hop related. So what does hip hop mean to you personally?
Fair enough. I mean, you did catch on to that. Personally,
yeah, I see just
yeah, it's just like, all right, so because I cover a lot of anime content and I cover a lot of manga and news and stuff, like, to me it's like you almost burn yourself out when you have that much interest in something, right?
Yeah.
So like I vented about this from time to time where I'm like, all right, I've covered this and people reacted a certain way, and I'm like, listen, this shit is, my bad for cursing, but
no, dude,
like,
please, I am the saltiest tongued YouTuber there is in our like field. I curse all day. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm like, this shit is a bit much. It's getting to me. Like, this was me in the beginning of the year, and I'm like, listen, I just need to like distract myself with other hobbies, because once you indulge yourself into a hobby to a certain point,
you can't dive 100% into anything. You have to have your toe sticking out in something else.
Exactly. And I was so invested in like anime and manga. I was like, yo, this is just getting to me. So then I'm like, all right, let me do something else. And then I checked out a bit of hip hop, you know, and I was always, you know, into it, but I never like spoke on other things on my platform, you know, on Twitter and stuff. And then as well, I was like, all right, let me check out games, movies, you know, those sorts of things, you know, just to broaden my interests. And by doing that, I can handle what I'm doing about like.
I think that's a funny way. That's a funny way to put it. Like, oh, I got kind of sick of doing this because I was, you know, too into it, so I checked out gangs.
I mean, but like, come on, like you can't be that ignorant.
I checked out what all the local gangs were doing, seeing if they needed new members, if they needed scans, and
yeah, that's one way to put. Yeah,
I get what
that's
you're
one
saying,
way to
though.
put it. Yeah, but like that's essentially what it was. And then like, yeah, I ended up, having a lot more interests. And when things got really annoying on Twitter, I could just close that and move on to something else and distract myself a different way. But I do still love the audience. But,
Of course,
sometimes some of
yeah.
y'all are pricks.
Wild.
Ooh.
Say,
Never underestimate the power of an anonymous Twitter user.
no, Twitter users have more bars than any artist nowadays when they're trying to flame you. Like, they can write the best diss tracks on the entire internet.
Oh God, trust me. Like I've seen that. And they go cold-blooded murderers, man.
They talk about everything.
Keyboard warriors to the next level.
Who's your favorite artist and why?
Oh God, damn, you putting me on the spot right now.
Oh, yeah. That's how it's got to be.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Don't worry, they're probably
Kendrick
not
Lamar.
listening, but if they are, just be very careful who you name.
Yo, nah. It's funny you mentioned. I got a funny story for you. It's gonna crack you up.
Do it.
Yeah. One of the times, right, I was on my Twitter and the Double XL freshman list came out for this year, right?
Oh, I think I remember this. Go ahead, tell it.
Yeah, so the Double XL freshman list came out, and then I'm on Twitter, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go through this freshman list, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on the artists that were included. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going through. I was like, all right, cool, Kamaya, XXX Tentacion, I forgot one of the. Anyways, I'm going through the list, right, one by one. Then I hit Made in Tokyo, right? I go and I'm like, alright, he's a cool guy and I liked his Uber Everywhere song and Skateboard P song, right? But I was like, I don't necessarily see him, blowing up and having longevity,
Which,
That's
to
basically
be
what I
fair,
said.
as of December 23rd, 2017, he still has not yet done.
Exactly.
To be fair. Continue, though.
Yeah, so that's what I said. And then, I said, okay, Made in Tokyo, and then dashed my comment on him. And then, literally, within 2 minutes, I'm not kidding you, I can pull up the DMs, right? Within 2 minutes, I get a DM from Made in Tokyo, and he's like, listen, I'm just out here grinding, doing this, putting out work,
it.
I got projects coming through. I'm working with Pharrell, I'm working with Metro Boomin. Obviously, I got music coming out, and I'm like, nah,
no way, bro.
Did this just happen? I couldn't believe it, And then I'm like, listen, I like your projects and I'm rooting for you, but legit, go at it. It's not I feel like that's a bad quality to have, because to find my tweet, it's not like I even tagged him. I just said his name.
Yeah.
So that means he has an alert on his name on Twitter.
He's definitely Kevin Durant on Twitter right now. He's just searching about.
Wow. I'm like, bro, did you just search your name and then find me and then follow me? Okay, well, he followed me after. We had we had a 2-hour conversation on his music career. I'm serious.
Oh God! Did you become his manager at the end of it, or were you paid for your services?
I don't know, but that ended up being connections for people, so it worked out pretty nicely. But yeah, if it ends up, if that's how it is, then listen up. Shout out The Weeknd. Listen, The Weeknd, hit me up.
So unofficially, your answer is Made in Tokyo /Weeknd.
No, my answer's
for
not
favorite artist.
But nah, Made in Tokyo is not on that list. I said Kendrick Lamar.
Rip.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar. If you're listening, yeah, hit me up. Yeah, we can talk about.
They do call him Kung Fu Kenny. He probably doesn't want to talk about Dragon Ball.
Yeah, come on. We do some Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee shit. But yeah, we talk about Goku.
Okay.
Yeah, but him. The Weeknd, The Weeknd is phenomenal.
Weeknd's great.
The Weeknd is, man, there's not an artist who blows my mind consistently like The Weeknd does. And man, I can't wait for his next album.
Weeknd's great. I'm looking forward to see where Weeknd's going.
Exactly.
Because it sounds like Weeknd's going to start going back a little to that natural kind of trilogy sound.
Oh, wow.
Like
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see what he's doing on his next project, and I really want to echo Joe Budden's thoughts where he said that he wants artists to stop getting Weekend to just repeat the hook over and over and over and over again. I hate that. Until he said it, I didn't notice it.
Yeah,
I'm unfazed. I'm unfazed.
A lie, a lie,
Oh, it
a
got
lie.
to me though when he said
A
that.
lie, a lie, a lie. God,
That's what I'm gonna miss about Joe Budden on Everyday Struggle. Just
Bro.
dropping gems like that I didn't notice until he
Listen,
said it.
Yeah, I'm literally not gonna be watching Everyday Struggle anymore.
No, it's
Peace
done
out.
for me now.
It's done.
I don't care
Like,
about academics that much.
Yeah, I mean, to me, half
but a
like the
Deska,
majority
though.
of my interest was Joe Budden and the insight that he had, because he's an industry insider, and yeah, he's bitter, but you respect the man's opinions because he actually has.
Nah, dude, I went
fucking
from
opinions.
thinking that Joe Budden was just this angry guy to like being like, oh no, this guy definitely has tons of value in the things that he's saying. Funny story, my mother's met Joe Budden. I'm from
Wow.
the same place that Joe Budden is, so my mother has gone to like the Dairy Queen, like that's like just in our like old neighborhood town, like the Dairy Queen, and had Joe Budden tried to cut her in line. And it was like my mom was like, excuse me. He's like, do you know who I am? And I'm like, that's kind of like part of why I thought Joe Budden was just this asshole. Also him chasing those kids with the rocks in the car and stuff. Like, there's a lot of funny Joe Budden stuff, but he actually ended up being like a really well-informed, good source for like hip-hop conversation and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
I would
Complex,
be like,
what are you doing?
If I was your mom, I would be like, pump it back to the back of the line.
You need to pump that ass to the back of the line. Like, what are you doing? I wonder when he orders his Dairy Queen, does he ask them to pump it?
Wow.
Pump it up.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Extra
Joe. I love you.
scoops. Yeah. Nah, Joe Budden. He's a legend, but yeah, he's a bit of a wild one.
What's your favorite album or mixtape that dropped this year?
This year, shit.
It's a lot of projects dropped this year.
There's a lot of cool projects that have dropped this year, and all right, some of my favorite projects that I keep going back to is Bryson Tiller's "True to Self." That was dope.
Oh man, you're lying so hard. I'm gonna let you do it.
Man, that was dope.
I'm gonna let you lie.
Yeah. What else? I know there's stuff that impressed me overall. Damn was great.
Damn was fantastic.
Damn was fantastic. Man, why am I drawing a blank? Because what I have is
some notable stuff that came out this year. Drake, More Life.
Oh, More Life was dope. Yeah.
Don't lie and say you like Vic Mensa's project.
Nah. Vince Staples was pretty good. What
Vince Staples was great, and he had a really, really good run on his interviews.
Yeah.
Because it made him super relevant. Because he's a really good interviewer. I'd love to interview that guy. He's super great to just talk to.
Yeah.
Just a lot of stuff came out this year. It's almost too much.
It's
a lot of collab projects came out this year. What do you think your favorite collab project is this year? I think I have a good idea what it might be because it's kind of recent. What do you think your favorite collab project would be this year?
Probably 21 Savage and thing.
In Metro
Booming.
That was a really good one.
That was a good one. What do you think I was gonna say?
I thought you were gonna say Huncho Jack.
Huncho Jack was dope. Huncho Jack
is good.
I just needed a bit more time to marinate.
It's a little new. I completely forgot about 21 and Metro. I guess I don't really consider that as being a collab because Metro is like a producer, but it definitely is. Like a lot of these artists are doing Metro collab tapes, and I love them.
Yeah.
Like Nav has some stuff, and it's like I don't like Nav at all. I really don't. But like some of the Nav
I still
tracks
haven't
of Metro
checked out
are like,
that project.
There's a few good ones in there, and I hate Nav.
Yeah, I need to check
Metro's
it out.
like a magician.
But like people be disrespecting Nav too much. He's actually like, I get that he has these corny lines and stuff, but like if you've ever seen him live, it's like, I don't know, the experience. He just sells it.
Oh, I'm sure it's fun.
Sells
it's just,
it.
He does. It really is a corny line simulator though, because he'll be like, haters gonna say the shit is whack. It's like, no, Nav. I mean, putting that line in there makes it whack. It's not that haters are gonna say it.
Let me tell you something. That line it's actually smart because it's a diss against Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber, when he was asked about The Weeknd, he said that shit is whack. He's like, do you listen to
I'm getting
TMZ?
Carfax right now, bro.
Yeah. TMZ asked him, you know, what does he listen to The Weeknd, because The Weeknd went out with Selena and yada yada.
Which,
yada.
by the way, he definitely does.
Yeah, of course.
Like, he definitely listens to The Weeknd. We all do.
Yeah. But I mean, but then he ended up saying, "Oh, that shit is whack," because, you know.
Yeah, all right, baby. Sure, cool. Thanks, Justin. Thanks for your input on music.
Ah, man.
It's coming for everybody today.
Ah, man. But like, man, his song with The Weeknd, Some Way, I don't know. It's too catchy for me. Even though it has whack bars from Nav, it's just so catchy.
It's catchy. It's just Nav. God damn it, I can't.
Come on, man. Listen, he's
be
like
a Nav fan. I'm not gonna allow myself to do it.
he's like to, bruh, that one line where he's like, I think my nuts look better on her face. I'm like,
I'm like, Nav,
bro, listen,
Nav, and one of the Metro Boomin songs,
yeah.
Nav says, I just spent 200 on my nails, and I'm like, Nav. I'm trying to bump to this, Nav. I get your nails are important, bro, but I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah. Man. But like, I don't know. I just enjoy him for the comedy aspect.
That was fun. Yeah, that's kind of what it is, though. But if I want to go for like comedy stuff, I generally go towards like Little Dicky a lot more,
but
because there's
that's
actual
a bit
bars
too
there.
excessive. I just like
dude.
Yeah, I mean, nah, he's cool. He's cool. I'm not gonna deny that he is cool. But like, just occasionally having and like, it's not like his bars are absolutely trash like Big Sean.
You know what's upsetting? Because we're going to be on this like hip hop discussion for a little bit. I like Big Sean's recent project, not the most recent one. That shit was awful. But like, I decided. I loved that shit.
That was dope. But the difference,
I'm like a huge Drake fan. Like on a bat, like just ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And when that came out, I was like, oh, I don't know. Big Sean is like taking over like my Drake opinion now, because this is damn good. Like it was the only Big Sean project ever where I almost didn't have to delete any songs.
I mean, Dark Sky Paradise is the one. Yeah. But like, I decided, to be honest, the thing is, Big Sean, when he has a vision, when he has a concept, he's good at
like an idea.
An idea. He's good. He can produce a good album. But when it comes to, in particular, just having a bunch of, like, it's a collab tape, I get that, but like, it didn't just work because he was just spinning whatever came to his head. There was no vision to it, and the bars were just whack.
Poor Big Sean.
Yeah,
because Big Sean really thinks he's like in competition for top 3. It's like, you're not. Like, if you put out more consistent projects, you would be, but you just kind of like, just wait, just pull a J. Cole and wait between all your different projects. I mean, J. Cole's latest project was really good too.
I mean, yeah, but the thing with Big Sean is he's had too many misses, and that's the issue. If he had a bit of quality control with his, you know, what he puts out, then I think people would rank him much higher than what he is right now. If he just, you know, held off and said, all right, I like this song and I like these ones of songs, but this isn't good, or this is whack.
Big Sean is kind of like that guy who knows how to dunk in high school or like 8th grade, but like gets so excited to dunk that he misses like 70% of the dunks.
Yeah,
even though he can get it in every time, but like he misses it because he's too eager.
Yeah, and he just needs to hold back a little bit, and, you know, just run a bit of quality control on his projects, and then he should end up in a much better place. And like, Big Sean, I'm not trying to say disparage me or come after me on Twitter like Made in Tokyo, but
what's he gonna do? Diss you? Who's gonna?
Nah, man, watch out, man. He probably low key checks out my Twitter because I'm posting about Dragon Ball too much. He's a big Dragon Ball fan, bro.
Yeah, he does make those Dragon Ball quotables. You're
exactly.
Right.
And Frank Ocean too, with his recent song Provide. And like The Weeknd did it in Trilogy. He's like, my head's up like a Saiyan. Oh, that was another song. But yeah,
I think Drake's done it too. A lot of artists are super into like
yeah,
especially the mumble rappers. I mean, I don't like to call them that really, but that's what just people know them as. A lot of them are like our age, so they're all into the same stuff that we are.
Yeah, High key, it'd
It's
be
weird.
nice.
It's super weird to think about. Like, it's weird to like think of people who grew up just like you did watching like Toonami, and then now they're the artists that we listen to nowadays, and you just hear them making all these references, and you're like, my parents don't know what the hell Zatch Bell is, but I hear it in a reference in a rap, and it's like, oh my god, this is my moment. I get to hear a Zatch Bell reference in a rap. I'm so excited.
Legit, yeah. Like, to be honest though, like, it's almost like, oh, I might end up starting my own rap career, because if this shit is so prevalent,
Do it. Go for
memes and stuff, and it's like, yo, like, I might try to cash in those clout coins.
I'd be down to hear a couple verses. I'd jump on whatever you start doing it.
Man,
It's gonna happen. Give you a hot 16.
Yeah, I'm gonna need those features coming through.
You recently did sort of a face reveal, and there was tons of comments and talk about it.
Yeah.
Are you teasing a proper face reveal coming soon, or are your fans just gonna have to be happy with 2D Yonko?
Yeah, 2D Yonko is. It's funny you mention it, because if you really want a face reveal, then you gotta live with 2D Yonko. That is what it is.
Okay,
But
all right.
if you're really, really, really interested, meet me in person.
Hey, fair enough. At one of those conventions.
At one of those conventions, I might have to start a GoFundMe. Nah,
if people want it bad enough, it'll definitely get paid off. It'll at least do better than BOB's Flat Earth campaign on GoFundMe, which went absolutely nowhere.
Damn. Yeah, but that's insane. That's insane. Nah, but like,
Flat Earthers, I can't.
Nah, listen. If you're a flat earther in this video, good luck. Explore the world. Go on a plane or something. Nah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh man, rip.
Life is difficult these days.
Well, speaking about life being difficult, what's the best advice that anyone's ever given to you? I mean, just even apart from like YouTube stuff, what's just the best advice that anyone's ever given to you? And did you follow it? And how did you follow it, if you did?
Damn, bro, you're making me think.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, it's it's an interview. It's gotta be.
I feel you. I mean, at the end of the day, it's always been follow your interests and follow your passions. Okay. That's what it's been, and it's like, all right, you like something, make something of it. That's what it's been, and sure, it's there's different ways to go about it, but that's always something that I've done, is make something out of what I like, and try to find, try to take, build a vision out of something you like. So hobbies don't just have to be hobbies, or interests doesn't just have to be an interest. It can become more than that.
What advice do you have for other people, like be it that same advice or different advice?
I would say ignore the haters.
That's always good advice. That's the best advice.
That's always good. That's always good advice. Like, even if you have a hater, and even if people try to look down on you, like,
yeah, do what you do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
It's just like, dude, why? I'm not even gonna bother with you hating on me right now. I got stuff to do. Like, I think when you get too caught up in people, like how they see you, how they view you and stuff, you're taking away the time that you could be using to do the thing that makes them angry. Like, I've never shied away from. Like, I actively am aware that people hate some of the stuff that I do, and it just makes me want to continue doing those things. It's like, please hate, please. It's delicious. I use it to write more stuff. Like, hate, please do it. Like, you're gonna do it anyway. I might as well at least get a good script out of it.
Exactly.
It's kind of like fuel in a weird way.
Nah, I respect that, because it's like, legit. If someone's gonna hate on you, it's like, it's gonna happen. If it doesn't happen at the start, it's gonna happen later on. And it's worse when people, talk down while looking up at you. So they're envious of you, but they talk down on you and they try to talk shit. And it's like crazy.
It's like, I can't even see you down there, buddy. All right, but say whatever you want.
But apart from that, I mean, let me be positive. And, is just, the thing is, it's always hard to find an audience. So,
yes.
The hardest thing I want to say that stops people halfway is finding an audience. And the only way to overcome finding an audience is by being passionate about what you like and doing it for a genuine reason. You gotta be genuine about what you like.
Yeah, because the audience can tell if you're like, it's like this roaming band of people that can smell whether or not you're authentic.
Exactly. That's what it is, basically. And if you have that authenticity, people will come to you in droves.
And we're getting real close to the last question.
Sure.
Number 14. What's the most dangerous situation you've ever been in, and how did you get into and out of that situation?
Wow. The most dangerous situation that I've been in. That's a tough one.
It could be mundane if that's, you know, but if it's like the actual most dangerous situation you've ever been in. We're getting into like YonkouProductions lore now. Like the lore of Yonkou.
I mean, I have gotten in trouble a couple of times here and there, with certain people, but like it's never been too serious. I mean,
okay,
like, and like that's just comes with the territory. You know what I mean? People have, you know, their own opinions about you. People, you know, will view certain things a certain way. But apart from that, like, to me, like, I'm pretty. I avoid drama and tension, and, you know, avoid a lot of things that could get me in trouble in the first place. And by doing that, I end up steering clear of a lot of the problems that come with it.
Okay,
you feel me?
All right. Last question before we get into some of the speed round stuff.
All right.
Who do you think we should interview next, and why?
Ooh, that's a good question. Wow.
There's an infinite amount of people that we could. Rhymestyle is a good one.
Yeah, I reckon Rhymestyle's a good one. And like, okay, I've interacted with him a couple of times, but I feel like he'd be a great candidate just for your audience.
Rhymestyle's definitely a fun interview. I bet.
And he's a great personality as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write Rhymestyle down. I'm gonna ask other
if
people
want
because I asked the same question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If they want Rhymestyle, put it in the comments. And yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. But I also ran a poll on Twitter that I guess I'll put in the well, not a poll yet, but it's gonna end up being a poll because I asked people already on Twitter, and I think a lot of the replies have been like Max, Rhyme, Afro. And I'm gonna see if people like want the most, and so I could reach out to that person and be like, hey, you know, there's community interest in having an interview. Here's an example. We interviewed Yonkou. We're gonna get into some personal stuff and like, you know, work related stuff and just general kind of like chill related session and see how that goes and see if anyone gets back to us.
I feel you. That's pretty good. I mean, like, being the first person, I hope this can pioneer into something that's really great. Something that
you're still pioneering. You're just relaxing and having an interview, and you're still like being the pioneer to something.
Of course, you always gotta push forward. You know, climb the walls that stop you from doing what you want to do.
No, I'm in America. I can't even talk about walls anymore. It's a real touchy subject.
My bad.
We're the bad guys now. It's awful.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. So to close this out, here's the speed round. We're gonna ask you a few questions. Well, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. I do the asking. Just to, you know, say the first thing that comes to mind. You ready?
Yeah.
Travis or Quavo?
Travis.
All right. Charlemagne or Button?
Button.
Frieza versus Topo?
Frieza.
My Hero Academia or Naruto?
Ooh, god damn.
Yeah.
Naruto. Just because it's too early for My Hero Academia.
Okay. Best anime movie you've seen?
Wow. Sword of the Stranger.
Oh, I agree. All right. Worst current anime?
Worst. This season?
Yeah, sure. Current.
This season. Damn. You gotta. Man, it has to be something that I dropped straight away.
Uh-oh.
Man. Let me suss it. Man, let me just say. Do
it.
Wait. Shokugeki no Soma season 3.
What was it?
Shokugeki no Soma season 3. Food Wars.
Fair enough.
But that's like
worse than Black Clover though.
Hold up. Like, that was bad, but like from a technical side, it was bad. But like, I mean, all right. Let me put it this way: the worst anime of the season is Inuyashiki.
Oh yeah.
You feel
Yeah,
me?
definitely.
You know, you get where I'm coming
I get
from with
you.
that?
I get you.
The best, worst anime is Inuyashiki, but it was great, and it's a fun watch, but it's like the worst fun watch you could have.
It's a train crash. All right, vanilla or chocolate?
Chocolate.
All right, Trump versus Bernie in a death battle.
God damn you! Why are you getting me into politics, Bernie?
Bernie's gonna get tossed. Luffy versus Zoro.
Luffy.
Worst character in My Hero, Bakugo or Bakugo?
Listen, get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here! I know you. Listen,
All right,
Bakugo is one of the best characters, and I will die on this lonely island by myself. You feel me?
All right. Well, I want to thank you for being here. Thanks to all of Yonko's fans and ours, and please support this man. And we'll see you guys right back here next time with more questions on Shonen 15. Peace.